Hey everyone, this is my send of the Graduate at Mount Nemo in Ontario, 12A sort of test piece of Ontario climbing on October 12th, 2023. I'm going to offer some commentary on this route. The only thing that was edited out are my rests. Okay, so the first part of climbing here on the Graduate is probably like 5'8", 5'9". It is a little bit obscure in the fact that there's so many sort of features and holds you can sort of get confused, and I think every time that I approached this climb I climbed it slightly differently. As you can see, the first clip is way up there, so we actually stick clip that beforehand so that it's safer. Otherwise, it's a 5'8", 5'9" climb on some kind of sketchy rock and sort of a tough clip to get. And without a pre-clip, that could be pretty dangerous. But I'm sure many people do it. Anyway, so getting a little higher up, you'll see me clip the second clip fairly soon. Because of where the belayer is standing and the features of the rock, unfortunately the rope does get behind my leg sometimes, so I'm constantly readjusting that. You don't want the rope behind your leg in a fall that could flip you upside down. Alright, so I'm just getting to the first sort of ledge area where you can get a bit of a rest. It's a little sketchy because there's sort of like an undercling and you don't have a lot of space for your feet. You're kind of exposed a little bit, but it is a good ledge, and if you could get your body kind of rested, you can see how I kind of rest onto my heel there, grab that undercling and sort of just move my body up, and then there's a crimp sort of right above my head there that I can get a shakeout on. Alright, so this next piece of the Graduate is sort of the first cruxy area. It would, I would classify it as 511 minus type of slab climbing, and I actually almost completely screwed this up a few times, as you'll see. Really difficult to find the right balance, the right holds. There's sort of a crack that runs along the left-hand side. You can see where my left hand is. And there's only a few good parts of that crack that you can actually really crimp on. The rest of it is kind of pretty bad. Once you get higher onto that slab, the feet become smaller and smaller. And you'll see me sort of, this first part is okay. There's pretty good feet, and it's a good clipping hold. Get my clip there. Now the sort of business starts where you've got, sort of hard to find crimpy holds on the flake and really small feet. And I get a little confused. I almost fell off once. I'll point that out. So that's the high left foot that's actually needed to get to the ledge, but I wasn't feeling it. I don't think I was on a great crimp for my left hand. So, I'm readjusting to find it. And, that left foot that I was on is about the size of a fingernail, just to put it in perspective. See there, I almost came off while adjusting my hand. So I'm going to rethink it here, take another go. Setting it up, and that's not the right foot, and you'll see I almost completely screwed up this whole climb here. There. Foot slipped right off, caught myself, fortunately. But now I'm getting pumped out, I'm frustrated, so there we go. That's all I needed. A little bit of inspiration. There's that left high foot, about the size of a fingernail. I find a decent crimp, move the right foot up, grab the ledge. Now you can get a little bit of a shakeout, although your feet are basically on two holds the size of fingernails, but the hands are good. It's a nice big ledge. All right, now this next section of climbing is probably about 5'9", 5'10", through some really interesting, like, clunky rock features and flakes. It's a pretty cool section. Moving slowly and carefully. This was a project of mine for, I think I spent maybe 3-4 weeks, a total of 7 attempts. So I wanted to make sure as I'm approaching the crux that I was composed and well rested. And I'm just generally not a super fast climber. So you can see here this, when we put up the draws, we chose to put this draw and I think the next draw on a bit of an alpine sling, so as to reduce rope drag after the roof. Alright, so before you get into the roof crux, you can retreat out to the right hand side here and get a really good rest, kind of stemming between that sort of erect rock feature. Okay, so here I'm going to get the clip that is right above the roof, which does require a bit of strength. You're basically doing half of the crux and getting a clip, so everything's on one arm. So after I get this clip, I'm going to go back and rest a bit. Now, this crack that you follow in the roof, it has specific areas that work best for your hands, and that took me quite a few burns to figure out just the right sequence through that crack so that the feet feel good. Otherwise, you get totally pumped out within like seconds. You don't want the feet too high. You don't want the bad part of the crack, or you're toast. So here I'm coming back down. I'm going to get another rest before I attempt the crux. Alright, so here we go. So the crux of this, I would grade it at, say, V3 boulder problem. It's about how hard it is, but you know, you've already done quite a bit of climbing, so you're tired, a little bit pumped. There's exposure, so it's intimidating, and you got to get it just right. So there, I start with the first crack line of the bottom roof area. Get the hands just right and the feet just right so that you can throw out to the bottom part of the flake, which is okay, but what you have to do is move that right hand over to the next crack and then throw up to the better part of the flake. Once you get that, you gotta get the feet real high, about to the belly button, and find that crimp on the right hand side. Get the feet situated. Now you want to move the left foot higher to another kind of hold the size of a fingernail so you can get balanced for this clip. That took me a while to figure out the best clipping position for that guy because you're really pumped out. It's a little awkward up there and so easy to fall off that clip. Then I'm using an undercling that's basically right in front of my face to move the right foot up to get balanced again. Switch the hands over, and now you're doing a bit of a traverse through some fairly good holds, but the feet aren't great. Hand holds are pretty good through this area, but yeah, the feet can be a little bit obscure. Okay, now you get this horn for the right hand. It's really good, it's a huge jug, and I figured I need to get the heel hook high and then swing my right hand over to side pull and then throw to this ledge area, and that's the next kind of good area to get a little bit of a shakeout. There's a clip right there, so I'm getting a shakeout on that ledge, and then it's basically like 5'9", 5'10" minus maybe, climbing until the anchors. There's fairly good holds, but the feet again are pretty obscure. I found that it works to get some nice sort of wide stemming stances to get the best balance. Because the last couple holds before the anchors aren't great, so you want to make sure you're pretty well balanced, plus you're super tired. I'm just getting myself nice, close to the rock, well balanced, getting ready to hit those anchors. In my mind now, I started getting excited. I was like, oh, I'm there. It's almost over. So I had to kind of control my breath a little bit to not get too excited so that I can get there and complete this climb. All right. So you've got a little undercling. There's a good crimp. Move the feet up. Now, yeah, out left, there's a fairly good hold. And there you go. Right above the clips is a nice big jug. And got it done.
Yes! Woo! Fucking A.
Yeah, man.
Awesome, dude.